Hi again. This is just a brief intro. I finally did a video on my car. I wanted to do one outside somewhere where I had space. I mean, I could do it in my driveway, but my neighbors might come over and sit and say, "Hey." So I found a fairly secluded spot. I could just go around and give a quick go through. And I like to call it. I don't really have a name for it. Some people name their cars. I just call it a true daily driver. Because I've seen a lot of people say they have daily drivers. Mine is a true daily driver. I live in upstate New York, in the Adirondacks. It's cold. Get a lot of snow. I've been out there and started this car when it's 10 below. I've driven it in 2 feet of snow. All I do is slap on some snow tires and a little bit of weight in the back, and these cars are very good in the in the snow. They have the biggest wheel wells ever put on any Chevy product, and the snow just does not stick to the tires, so they do real well in the snow. It's the reason they were so popular in four-door format for police cars and taxi cabs and other vehicles, government vehicles, for so many years. In fact, I think that to be honest, I think that most of these organizations are kind of pissed that GM stopped making them. I literally, and this is a true story, I don't really get stopped by the police. Once in a while, I did something stupid coming out of Walmart. Somebody cut me off, so I'll admit to that one. And the state trooper was nice enough to let me go. A very attractive, a very professional state trooper. She was very nice. But I did get pulled over by another police officer, and I kind of felt that he pulled me over. He claimed that I didn't signal, but I think he just wanted to see the car, because I think he was feeling a little nostalgic for the Caprices of old, and it looked so much like a police car. And they did actually use those two doors as like detective cars and stuff back in the day. So and that's what they are. Those late, they call them, they're called B bodies, although GM did have another B body. But these are the late B bodies. These are the ones made from 77 to 96. That's correct, 77 to 96. A 1977 Caprice underneath is the same as a 1996 Impala SS, believe it or not. Well, minus, of course, the LT1, the transmission and all that. And there are some modifications to the suspension to stiffen them up in the Impala SS, but that frame is the same frame you'll find under a GTO, pretty much. A 1960, 89, or 70 GTO, same thing. They didn't change much, GM. They like to recycle. Anyway, like I said, the car is very good to me. I've had less problems starting it than a late model Honda. It really does not. There's never been an issue with it starting. The only time I ever had a problem with it starting was my battery died, and I actually was able to replace it under warranty, but it was the battery's fault, not the car. Even the starter has worked good all this time. I've had it in the cold winters, although I think there may be time for it to replace it. The other thing is, I've never taken the car to a garage. It's never been worked on in a garage. Anything I've done to it, I've done it in my driveway, which is uncovered. And the only thing I've ever had in the garage for it is to get it inspected and get it aligned. And like I said, I rely on it to take me if I got to go anywhere. When I go to the store, the doctor, I got to go do something. It gets me there. It has for the last 4 years. Like I said, it's my favorite car. I've always loved these cars. My sister had one. I've known other people have had them, and this was just too good of an opportunity. Somebody had this car, and I had a Z28, and I gave him the Z28, and he gave me, some money and the car, and I can't say it was the best deal I ever made. They're really good cars, and this car's been really good to me. And you can watch the video. I'll give a little detail, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. Yeah, down here at the they call it the Hudson River Park. It's actually right up the Hudson River, right off of 87 North. I figured I'd do a quick video about my daily transportation, which I think you've seen a video of me inside the car, but I haven't done a video outside the car. This is my 1979 Chevy Impala. This is what I would call a true daily driver. I bought this car. I traded this car 4 years ago for I had a 1994 Z28 6-speed LT1, and I traded it for this with an undisclosed amount of money involved in the transaction. Like I said, this is a 1979 Impala. 305 4-barrel. Has a posi rear end that I put in from a 95 Buick Roadmaster. This has one unusual feature, the 3-piece window that they only use from 77 to 81. I'm hoping nobody comes down here to bother me because technically the park is closed, but I'm just figured I'd come down here for a nice, quick, scenic video. This is those Firestones I did a video on. They're really pretty good tires. They're good in the snow. The only thing wrong with this car is it needs a paint job and it's got a little rot in the quarter panels. Underneath, actually, there's no rust, and I've actually it's actually riding on a new suspension with new control arms and everything. Even a new rear end. Like I said, it has a posi rear end, 8.5, and the interior is not exactly stock. You can see in here, those seats are from a PT Cruiser. The console is just something I cobbed up to put my Hurst quarter stick shifter in. It's obviously not stock dash. Well, the dash is stock, but the top has been removed because they have a tendency to crust up. And I put the carpet dash on there, and the gauges are not even close to stock. The center of the dash where the radio is just stock. It's covered with a non-stock cover. It's like that lighter that I actually put in. These are great riding cars, you know. You tend to not, you know, I mean, totally dead stock, they tend to float, but if you stiffen them up a bit, they ride like a, you know, like a really good police car, you know. They're very, like I said, very solid. They can take a lot of beating, and, you know, it's impossible to kill these cars. Even these, you know, I mean, I'm not in love with the 305, but you can't kill them. This one has I'd say about 130,000 miles on it, and it's well, like I said, it's not bad because I'll take a quick. I guess I'll do a quick shot. Although I expect a nosy state trooper to come down here any minute. So what are you doing down here? That air cleaner I made, that's actually from a throttle body injection, and I welded on that piece. It's a crappy weld, but I just wanted something that would suck in air from the side so it gets a little bit of heat in the wintertime, and it actually works pretty well. And it does have an aluminum Edelbrock intake and an Edelbrock carburetor, which I've done a video on, 600 CFM. I mean, underneath there isn't a lot. The only thing that's really stock is the steering and the motor itself. Everything else has been replaced. Aluminum, water pump, aftermarket alternator, aftermarket pulleys. I replaced the fan with a electric fan from an early 2000s Chrysler. Works really well. This is a dual factory fan. I guess I had issues. I don't know if you have mechanical fans. You tend to have heating problems in really hot weather with the mechanical fans. It's been the way of mechanical fans since the early Fords. You know, they don't work very well sitting. So electric fans don't have that problem. I said this is not a fast car. I mean, I'll with this engine in it. I mean, it was rated from the factory at 100 and. I don't know if you want to see that window from the back again. It was rated from the factory at about 165 or 155, something like that. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was less, 145. But that was with the crappy exhaust system that goes all the way to the back, which I don't have. I cut that off and run it out the side. And with the crappy intake and the crappy 2-barrel. With the 4-barrel, I would guesstimate that it has about 195 horsepower. It feels like it. It's not fast, but it has enough torque to pull the car reasonably well. It sounds good. You know, people are like, "Oh, it sounds good." Yeah, it sounds good. But these wheels are, those are Kragers, old school Kragers sprayed with plastic coat, just like these are the wagon wheels with plastic coat. These are just winter tires that I use. I have a larger rim that I use. So the body does need some love at some point, but honestly, this is it's a good car. It's honestly my favorite car I've ever had, to be honest. And I've had quite a long, lengthy list of cars, from very small Japanese cars to very large 60s cars. I had a couple of 60s cars. I've had many 70s cars, 80s, 90s, Camaros, whatever. No, these cars can't be beat for their ride. That's why they sold so many, and they were used by the police and taxi cabs for so many years. This is just a two-door coupe, so it's a little more rare, And I definitely, like I said, this is a true daily driver. I drive this car all year round. Have for the last almost 4 years, and it gets me where I got to go. And that's about it. Thanks.